Right, this morning I've got to fix a few things. So I'm up the farm. Got to put new fuel filters, diesel fuel on the cat, and hopefully can get that started. And then, as you can see, all the belts disintegrated on my slasher the other day as well. So that's another joyous thing that I've got to do. And I noticed at the top of this, it's got a massive bit out of it, which I don't know if that was responsible for it. I don't know how that would happen. But anyway, yeah, life on the farm, bloody marvellous. Okay, so the first filter's been changed, which is the bottom filter on the cat, which bit of a mess, which is this one here. So that's all been changed, brand new, filled up with fuel. It's got a brand new filter in, cleaned out the end cap, repositioned that. It's all on with new seals. So hopefully that's that one done. Now I've got to go up in the engine and sort the engine one out. Yeah, we'll see. I might be on the blower to Billy in a minute, see what he could do and help me out. Oh, right, so as you can see, hot sweaty morning up the farm. The first job I've got to do is get this girl going. So I have got I've got the filters, everything I need. This is the other main filter up on the engine side, and the one I've just replaced is the downside one, which is this, which was horrendous. Full of water, full of rubbish and crap. The diesel over here is shockingly bad, and I get the highest quality one you can get, and it's still shockingly bad. So I can only imagine that's what's stopping the old girl going. So fingers crossed we get it going once I get this other filter in. All right, I didn't have a bloody filter puller, so I had to fashion one with a strap to use that as a puller to pull off the filter, which was too blooming hard and shaking because it was hard work. But I've got them changed. I'll just show you what I've done. All right, so there's the filter, just there. That had to come off. Here it is here, the old one. Looks to be pretty gunked up and pretty darn nasty. So what I've done with that one, to keep pressure in the system, I took the turned the motor off, or turned it so its connection to the battery was off, so there could be no priming or no electric coming through. It's a 24 volt system on this, so 212s in line to power this big beast. And then I've filled that with diesel and done it all back up. Now I'm going to try and start her and see if she goes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, she does, the old girl. Otherwise I'm flummoxed. I don't really know what to do. I know there's a primer down. Bollocks. Let's move that out of the way so I don't knock any more bloody diesel all over myself. I'm covered in the stuff. I know there's a primer down there. Look, you see that? That little head thing just down there is the primer. And it's like a plunger. So what I might have to do is I might have to bleed the system. In which case, this is a fuel line coming in. Is that the first one? I think that's the first one. I'll crack that to have the system on, and then it really needs to be turned on. And then I'll pump that, and then hopefully it pumps through and bleeds out of this fuel line going into the engine. That's my next option, but I can't do both things. I can't be in there turning the bloody motor over and doing that at the same time. So I have to be the one. I'll tell you what that is. That's a sound of success. I've only got the old girl going. Oh, I'm bloody made up with it, I tell you. Oh, I'm bloody made up with that. Oh, God. I thought I was just going to have to get and pay someone to come in and do something which I know is a basic task, and several of you people that work on diesel should be looking going, oh, you're such a plonker. Anyone can do that. Well, I've never done that. So I had to do all the filter changes, bled a bit of the system. She was starting and firing and then going down again, so I knew there was air in there. So I left it on, left the ignition on, so that the fuel pump was priming, and then quickly ran up there and pumped it. I managed to bleed it out through the top little nipple on the filter there, and then she's gone. Get in, son, get in. Well, it goes from elation to bloody frustration and just pissed off again. So it was about 20 minutes left of running. She was sounding great, sounded absolutely perfect. As soon as I started to give her any revs, she conked out. So figured there was some air in the system. So of course, when you're on your own, you got to have the engine running. and you have to run up on top of the machine, pump the plunger, try and pump the air out the end of the fuel rail. And by the time I'd get up there, the bloody thing would stop and conk out. So I'd run down there again, do it again, run down, do it again, do it again, do it again. Got to go in again. Thought, you know, had good fuel coming out at the end, and thought it was going. And as soon as I started to give her some revs, she conked out again. And that happened, I don't know how many times. I've given up. It's obviously either sucking air in there somewhere, which everything's done up as tight as possible. I haven't, you know, the fuel filters I've put on, I've really cranked them up tight. There's no way there's anything getting in there. There is like a little bleed bolt on top of the filter. There doesn't seem to be any fuel coming out of there when the engine's running, which suggests that there's something else going on there. Now, Billy was great. He was on the phone to me going, oh, it could be the gauze. There's like a gauze at the bottom of the plunger. But unless you inspect a gadget, I got absolutely, there's no hope of getting the epoxy thing done, because how the hell you get your arms under there and undo what is a 23 millimeter socket to try and get in there. I took the fuel filter whole thing off its bracket, try and get under there. Still laying on my belly on the top there, still couldn't get it. I just gave it up as a bad job. And whether you have to have a special tool or something, I don't know, but it's just not doable. So yeah, I still haven't got the bloody machine going, and I need it. It's going to start raining this week. I need to get that backfilled. Obviously, I showed you as well. I'll show you now, actually. I was doing a load of slashing Friday, and all the belts went on the slasher. So I've got 4 new belts to fit on the slasher, because they're all buggered. Nothing's working there. What else? There's just had a gutful. So I'm giving it up. I'm giving it up. It's a bad job today. I've done my best. Can't do any more. Everything I need a machine for, so I can't do anything without it. So I'm gonna have to call somebody in to help me, because I can't do it, and that'll be God knows how long here, because that's just the nature of the beast in the cruise. I can't get anyone here within. Sometimes bloke didn't even answer my phone calls for weeks, so don't know how I'm supposed to get shit done. It's just bloody ridiculous. Anyway, you know, as I say, sometimes we're the hammer, sometimes we're the nail. I've definitely been the nail again, and I've had a gutful of it. Of course, oh yeah, and I need to fix the bloody leaking gate on the on Fensmere, and it's actually leaking a bit more. It's increased the last couple of days, so didn't have a lot of sleep last night, because I'm still a little bit worried about it. So that'll be my first jobs this week, hiring a little 2-tonner and dig the French drains there, get the clay, drop it in, try and stop it and get the bung up there. All right, I'll catch you later, bye-bye. Okay, so after the debacle trying to get the cat going, I'm just trying to do some stuff here. I'll show you what we've got in terms of flow rate coming out the gate at the moment. It has increased, so I've made a makeshift measure really, which will keep me on top of how much it's coming up. What I've also done is up on my overflow, because I've still got water coming over the main overflow, the spillway. I've actually then now just put a timber across it, stop that flow, actually increase the lake level maybe 2 to 3 inches. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it's actually quite a lot of water and gives me a little bit more grace. The only worry there, of course, is that those few inches do create just a slight bit more pressure, and if that's going to create more pressure to blow more of the clay out of this hole. I'm hoping to be able to get this done Tuesday. I'm just going to show you what we're going to do. All right, so we're down at the silt trap. Obviously, it's got water in it because I've got fishies in there. I gave that a water change yesterday as well, so it's had a fresh water change. So it all worked brilliantly well, actually, with my overflow, because that's my overflow pipe there, which is the main overflow pipe. This is actually the inflow pipe, but obviously I've brought that up higher. If we're using it for a drain down, of course, I'd empty it. I'd pull them and the whole lot will go, because it'll all flow out of there. So then that works as the overflow. So this standing water here, of course, is the issue. And also there's standing water over in that corner. So to get the clay that I need, obviously this is pretty clay ground because the water just sits there. So I'm going to get that little excavator in. I'm going to dig a trench in here, probably about 300 to 400 wide, a small trench, about, what is it going to be? It's going to be a couple of 100 mil deep, maybe 300 mil deep, which is the depth down to the actual pond level. I'll line it with geofabric, then I'll fill it with a perforated pipe, and then I'll cover that in gravel. That will create a nice drainage which comes down off of this main bit of land, which is my main path as well, coming down from the top. It comes down here and it'll drain into there. Doesn't seem to stop flowing, so it'll be a great little bit of extra water coming in. The same over in that corner, doing exactly the same thing. The clay that I'm going to get from here, I'm going to put into the bucket of the tractor, take it up to the top and drop it in that gate to stop that flow. If I can just stop that flow for a short period of time, again, it's not a lot of water, but if I can stop that flow for a little bit of time, then I can get my bung up there. There she is. And I've got all my new hoses and my new everything, so I can get that up there and get it dialed and get it sorted, and hopefully relieve any pressure and stress that I got that's still there, because it's a leaking lake. Now, people might ask, well, you know, what's this setup here? Well, the problem is you can't run heavy machinery across here, which is a route way that you can come down, but you can't run heavy machinery across this pipe because that's what cracked it in the first place. So we need heavy machinery to do the bypass channel. So when we made this whole mighty erection, we created this passageway here to go around and then up to the other side of the dam wall without having to run heavy machinery across the spillway all the time, which could theoretically break that. So we put this in. There's 300mm pipes in there, which should be enough to evacuate the 500mm there, although that is obviously coming out of pressure. And my plan was, if the DDT allow me this method, I think it's a better method anyway, because theoretically what I can do is I can put little 90 degree upstands coming out of there, which means that any silt that comes out will stay then in this spillway or go through into the silt trap, because all the water will be drained straight down the 90 on each of them and out, which has got to be a better method. As soon as I got the go ahead that that's okay, then I will drill starter bars into each side of here and I'll concrete that in, and it'll be a concrete stop end. But because the DDT are reminded to their own, I'm not going to do that before they do, because otherwise I'll have to get the gun out and gun the bloody thing out probably, because they go, oh no, it's not on the drawings. Yeah.